Hello, everybody. Dr. Fiona Pyszka here. I am going live for the first time right here on YouTube. I hope you can hear me. I do not know if my um, microphone is working because it wasn't tested. So if you get on here live, let me know if you can hear me. I am in the meantime going to check in on my phone. Maybe I can hear myself on my phone. 128. There is but we are going to talk today about a subject that gets a bit muddy in people's lives, and that is the subject of identity. So, um, let me see here if I can. Um, let's see if you can see me live. I'm still looking for myself on here live, but this is a first time testing of this. I do see a microphone in the bottom and I see it moving back and forth, so I believe you can hear me. All right. Let's see if I can hear myself on here. All right. Let's see if I can hear myself on here. Okay, right. It's working. Fantastic. All right, so let me share this with some folks and I will get on with a teaching that I believe will be of major blessing to you. And to anyone that listens to this after the fact, you are now part of history for me. And I appreciate your support and your input for my future chats with you. So today we're going to talk about identity and and I will pardon me here as I try to do two things at one time. And we will chat about identity and how it is that we can have our identities corrected, um, and how you can live a life that is protected from people taking over your identity and doing their own bidding with it. So bear with me as I fix an issue right here. Okay. So first thing is your identity can only be corrected by the person who created you. And we know, if you are a believer, if you are a Christian, I hope that you know by now that you were created by God Almighty. You are a creation of God. A human being is a creation of God. So are animals, so are plants. But you become a child of God after you have been born again. Before you're born again, you're actually, before you're born again, you're actually a child of the devil. And you can find that in the New Testament where Jesus told the Pharisees, you are like your father, the devil, because of how they lied and the way they behaved. So there is children of the devil and children of God. If you are born again, you are a child of God. So not everybody is a child of God, but everybody is a creation of God. That's probably the first identity part that you need to fix about yourself. I have a book called Identity Reset where I talk about a lot of phases of identity, and a lot of people, their lives have been helped by this. If you are interested in that, you're welcome to pick it up. It's on Amazon. Just look up my name, Fiona Pyszka, and you'll find it. Or easier yet, look up Fiona Inc., INC, and you'll be able to find it there as well because it's a little bit easier to do Fiona Inc. than Fiona Pyszka. But first thing I want to tell you is read Psalm 139. I'm going to pull it up here for you. Psalm 139 and verse 16. Psalm 139 and verse 16. And that psalm talks to us about um, a book that was written about us before we were born. Then in the book of Ephesians, you could check it out there as well. Paul talks about how before the foundations of the world, God already decided we were going to be here. So the blueprint that is spoken of in Psalm 139, and we'll look at verse, let me change my settings here. We'll look at verse 16. You can go there with me if you'd like, or I could just read it for you. But I do encourage you to go back and read this at some point in your day. Verse 16, it says, "Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect, and in thy book all my members were written, which in continuance were fashioned, when as yet there was none of them. How precious also are your thoughts about me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I should count them, they are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I'm still with thee." So in Psalm 139:16, it talks in another version, it actually says, "my book." Let me look it up here for you. But there's different ways this is translated. But either way, if we know that God has a Bible, this what we're looking into that talks about all the things that he's doing on the earth, what he plans to do, everything else, then you are more important than the earth. You as a person, you are more valuable to God than the actual planet Earth. And you are eternal. So you're either going to spend eternity in heaven or eternity in hell. This is just a reality. You can choose to believe whatever you'd like to believe. But if we're looking at the Bible, this is what it teaches. And in verse Psalm 139:16 in the Amplified, it says, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance, and in your book all the days of my life were written before ever they took shape, when as yet there was none of them." So every day of our life was already written down as God would like it to be. However, we have a choice. We can choose to live based on God's plan, or we can choose to live based on our own plan, influenced by our environment. Remember, you did not come to earth with any other plan but God's plan inside of you. To change God's plan inside of you means you'd have to have some kind of external, you'd have to have some type of external information or influence in order to change who you were sent here to be from the inside. Every cell in your body has been given the command to be who God called you to be. Every single cell in your body knows how to be that person. It would take conditioning from outside of your body, from your environment, from the words that you take in, from the things that people have told you about yourself, in order for you to change the structure and the words that God has put inside of you. And isn't that what the enemy does? In order for Eve to have disobeyed God, she had to hear something from the outside other than the voice of God in order to interrupt what she was already doing to obey God. So always remember, your identity gets changed from an outside source every time. In order for you to change the original plan God has for you, something from the outside has to tell you this. It has to question who you are. So when God made you as the gender, the race, the height, the everything that he created you to be, the color of your skin, everything, he has a plan for that. And in order to change God's plan in your life, something about you has to be disrupted. And this is where the enemy comes in with his lies in order to destroy your life. Now, since this is a test stream, I didn't want to go very long, but I just want to give you that little tidbit and we will continue. So read Psalm 139, verse 16. Look at it. Go to Ephesians and find out where it talks about before the foundations of the world. Just look up foundations of the world. I'm giving you homework. And then I want you to ask me questions because I'd love to specifically address different parts of identity. So welcome for those of you watching after the fact, because no one expected me to go live. So this probably hasn't even alerted anyone that I'm live. And share with your friends, and then watch out for, go ahead and subscribe, and then hit the notification button on YouTube so that you can be alerted when I'm live again. God bless you. Bye-bye.